NACS might finally be saved, and if you haven't been paying attention, there's a new kid on the block, and his name is Lake. Now, recently, M80 have picked up this young prodigy out of the depths of NACS, and they've been having some pretty impressive results, all things considered, and they even just recently made top 8 in ESL Pro League, and they still haven't even decided if they're going to go farther yet. They play later on this week, but this kid is very, very impressive, and I'd like to take a look at a recent game that he played in Pro League versus Imperial, where he dominated them on the new Vertigo, and we'll get right into that right after a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Skin Club. Now, you must be over 18 before you play on the site, but if you are and you do decide to play, Skin Club is a site that has over 100 cases that you can choose to unbox. Now, you can either unbox them individually like we're doing on screen now, or if that's not your thing, you can actually put a bunch of cases into a case battle and play versus another player, where the winner gets to keep everything that was unboxed during the battle, and when it's all said and done, you can use the upgrader to take the skins that you got that you're not the biggest fan of and see if you can maybe get away with something better. And then once you finish, you can actually withdraw any skin that you've want right onto your Steam account. If you decide to check out the site, make sure you guys use my link for a 7% deposit bonus. Just make sure that you play responsibly, and let's get right back into the video. Now, I think that Lake is easily one of the most exciting players that we've seen come up in 2024 so far, and I'm very happy that M80 have given him this opportunity. Lake plays a very aggressive style, and I think you guys are going to really like that watching this game. Now, before we get too far into this game that we're watching now, I will just say, a lot of people asked me to watch the M80 versus Fnatic game, the one on Anubis that set the record for the longest game of all time. But to be honest with you, after looking through it, there's not too much to get in terms of a demo review, and it's mostly just an entertaining thing. After a certain point, they started reusing a lot of strats, and it got very messy, and so I just don't think there's any point to having a 2-hour demo review kind of breaking down the same rounds over and over. So we're going to go ahead and just stay focused on this game now. We have, of course, Imperial on the other team, and I want you to think about something from Lake's perspective. This is only the 3rd Tier 1 LAN that he has played. First one was the Esports World Cup earlier this year, and then he went to Blast, and they didn't do very well against Falcons, and now they're here in Pro League, and this is one of the more prestigious events that we have, at least in my opinion. And so you have to think about it. He's gone from playing people like me, literally, we did just play him the other day in ECL, playing people like me to playing people like Imperial, Fnatic. This is a big step up for someone like Lake, and he has absolutely risen to the occasion. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love about the way Lake plays Vertigo is that he likes to take these timings up ramp. I mean, in general, Vertigo has always been something like this. We get a little bit of pressure in towards B here, and off of the back of that, you can take these timings, or you could take the space that is given to you from the CTs. But think about this. Like I just told you, he's playing against some of the more crazy names that he's played so far in his entire career, and you might think that somebody who's newer to this might be a little more passive, might be second guessing themselves, but look at this. He walks up ramp, he is alone because he knows that this timing exists. His teammates just put a little B fake, a little B pressure, and he knows that the timing exists for him to walk up ramp. But he's alone. Now, a more disciplined player, they might just wait, but Lake, very confident, he walks up and he stands in the middle of the open. I know that sounds like a joke, but seriously, this is a very strong spot because nobody's going to be expecting him. If I peek from elevator right now, I would be checking this angle right here on the crane, but when I go to check that, I'm actually going to be accidentally peeking Lake because I'm not expecting him here. And at the same time, if anyone peeks from this new area in elevator, they actually can't see him. So this spot in the middle of nowhere is actually exceptionally strong, and he's going to use that to his advantage because when Phelps rotates back in, he's standing here and catches him completely off guard, and then he also spots No Way. And you would think that he stops there, but once his teammate throws the flash, he continues pushing up. He knows he has a timing on No Way, and so he's going to get up here and he's going to catch him. Perfectly played from him, but the benefit to him being so aggressive is he also heard Decency, who was running in CT, because he didn't expect Lake to be this close. So now Lake knows where the last player is as well. He turns around and he is going to pick up this kill, as well as picking up the first round for M80. And this is what I'm trying to say. You might think that this is a bad play from Imperial, but it's really not. This is the kind of aggression that you see from some of the best players in the world. And it's very exciting to see Lake do this in some of his first games in Tier 1 CS. Now, going into this next round, he actually drops his Galil over to a teammate, picks up a Mac-10 because he wants to go farm ecos. Now, this isn't really an eco, it's actually a force buy, but they know the money is not very low, so if they do choose to buy anything, they're not going to have head armor, and basically the Mac-10 is just going to farm. Now, here's a cool little molly that you can steal from Lake. You line up there and give it a right-click jump throw, going to clear out all of side hall, and because he threw that molly, he can actually disrespect this smoke that Imperial threw, and when they try to re-aggress with this flash, he's already waiting for him. He's going to find the first kill. But again, you're noticing a trend. He continues continuously pushes through, the aggression that they try to throw at him. He's still moving forward even now. And that's one of the things that I really respect about Lake. He's playing with the confidence of someone who is him. And realistically, that's just the secret to being a good CS player, is having confidence. I always say one of my biggest tips to improving in the game is faking having confidence until you actually do have confidence. And speaking of confidence, here's one of my favorite strats to run on Vertigo, a very common one. My old team used to call this strat complexity, but the idea is you're going to throw a nice lurk smoke here that gives a gap on this part of the side yellow area, and you're going to walk through with a flash from your teammate. You have numbers. Now, the lurk smoke gets thrown really often, so again, this goes back into conditioning, something that I talked about a long time ago on this map, before the changes were made. I'll link this video in the top right. It was actually a Zentara's demo review, but you start this off here, you want them to be used to that lurk smoke, and then eventually you just pop through it. Now, there's only really one counter to this play, which is when somebody gets in front of the smoke here and spams the gap, and you see No Way here takes Lake out right away. Now, this strat doesn't work out very well this round, but later on in the game, we're going to see it go very differently. Now, round number 6 is actually going to be a little different. We're going to see Lake go towards B here, and the idea is pretty straightforward. He's going to start the round, come over towards A, throw the lurk smoke, molly side haul. This is all very standard for a new Vertigo. With the new timings, it's actually pretty essential to throw this Molotov at the beginning of the round, because it stops them from swinging here, and it kind of gives you a little bit more room to work with, right? And again, you see that lurk smoke is thrown. This time, they're kind of keeping an eye on it. This is, again, part of the conditioning. They can go back and rerun that same strat later if the conditioning goes well. Now, we're going to do everything we need to do. We're taking ramp, faking that we've, put a little pressure here. It's very scary when you don't have any information on the ramp here, because realistically speaking, they could have walked up anywhere, and Imperial don't have much to say about it. You think that this boost is good enough to spot it, but it really isn't, because with this boost, I know they're going B right now, but with this boost, you actually cannot see the ramp, so it's hard to say what's going on. In the meantime, we have a nice execute coming in, and Lake's going to come in here. He's going to end up being the entry after Swisher goes down. He spots him stuck in towards the double stack. He's going to reposition perfectly to catch him on the reload, and then he waits. He patiently waits, and the team is kind of getting set up. I kind of think it's a little overzealous some try. He's going to swing all the way on the back wall and eventually runs into Lake's crosshair, and now we've got 2 kills for Lake, and this execute is kind of stopped, but it's okay because they're a man advantage now. They don't have the best util in the world. They do have 2 smokes though, so that is pretty strong, but they need to just group up here and make something happen, which is exactly what's going to happen. Again, Lake drops his piece of utility down to his teammate, and eventually they're going to creep up here. Unfortunately though, Lake is going to get caught by Phelps on this nice off angle, but the rest of the troops are going to pile in, and they're going to easily take the site and then easily take the round after that. Now, of course, the thing about being an aggressive player is that you still have to know your nades, because sometimes you have to help your teammates aggress. So there is no excuse. You should still learn all of your nades, even if you want to be the guy that goes in first. Sometimes you have to throw the support utility. Donk those flashes for his teammates. Lake those flashes for his teammates. You should know how to do it too. This round is pretty straightforward. We know that they don't have much, but the saved rifle from last round, and that saved rifle actually finds a kill right away, which gets them to a second AK. But before that happened, the idea of this is they know it's an eco with 1 gun, so they're going to come up here and they're going to duel. These headshot angles actually are very hard to fight if you have a USP. If you have a deagle, maybe if you're truck level 86, you might hit a couple of 1-digs here, but to be honest, it's a very strong strat. Come up here and take duels and just kind of win the round after that. Now we're going to be sitting here waiting to group up and exec. Remember, whenever these eco rounds start to get out of hand, we're down a man, the easiest thing to do is just group up and win it. So now Lake is still going to go first because he is an aggressive rifler, throws that nade towards default. The mid split comes in, he goes down, but he gets traded right away. Again, that round wasn't the most impressive round from Lake, but I just included it so you could see that he still sets up his teammates as well. Now, in return, they're going to set him up for this round. We have a buy, and Lake is actually going to get dropped the hero AK over someone like Slacks or Wreck. I mean, it's a full buy, but he gets dropped the AK instead, and that's not for no reason, because remember that strat that I told you about earlier that they failed because No Way spammed 2 of them? Well, this time, they're going to run it back again. We have the same strat called the gap in the right side of the smoke and everything, and they're going to explode through. And this is really what it looks like when it goes right. They re-aggress in the middle of it. A good timing for Imperial, but Lake hits a crazy shot, and then he also trades his teammate through the smoke. Now, 3 versus 3, we have a decent shot here of winning the round, but we need to be patient, and that's what they're going to do. The patience allows decency to re-aggress ramp. Lake's going to spot him through that gap in the tarp there. There's a little pixel you can see somebody if they walk past it, and off the back of that, Imperial now are aware aware that M80 is still hanging out bottom ramp, and they're going to actually reposition again, and they're going to double aggress ramp. Look at what we're dealing with here. We have two people that just peaked high-low at the same time to clear ramp, and they actually didn't see anything. They know Lake was on this left side though, so Try is going to go all the way over here, and he's going to look for him. He has a Molotov to potentially force him out as well, but he doesn't throw it, and instead he posts deep. Now, the downside to what Try just did is that he's completely left a gap for Lake to sneak up. Now, Lake has no idea that this has happened, by the way, but I want to show you again, this aggression, he is past the net. They have no idea that he's already up this far, and so he's going to use that to his advantage and catches Try on the reposition. Now, Lake's on 3, smokes deep elevator, and he's going to continue to push up. He doesn't stop. He's relentless with this aggression. Going to be sitting here holding for his teammate to get the bomb down, and he's just checking everything, patiently waiting, finds a 4th kill onto Decency, and he's going to use this new catwalk to his advantage. He's repositioning. I don't think Vinny even has an idea that he could be here, and eventually Lake is going to jump up and he's going to claim his ace. And what a round from him, by the way. I want you to think about this again. This was a round where the money, not that convincing for M80. They have 3 AKs and 2 Tech 9s, and they make the most of it by giving Lake the AK, and he repays them by giving them an ace. Good stuff from him. Very, very impressive. Round number 11 here, and Lake has a play that he wants to do, but before he could do that, Sin is going to throw this side hall smoke for him so that Lake can do the play he wants to make. Now, Lake's going to come up here. He's going to throw the lurk smoke just like always, and he's going to walk through the bottom yellow smoke because remember, Sin did just throw this side hall smoke for Lake, and because his Molly's here, he knows that nobody's there, so he's going to walk through and he's going to patiently wait. But that's only for a little bit because eventually he's going to make the confidence play to just walk through. Wait, what? He just walked through ramp, but why? Well, it's because his teammate's actually setting up in towards B, and he wants to either catch a timing or just create chaos, basically, is the idea here. He's going to walk through side hall, but the problem is that since he's walked through side hall and he just heard somebody molly bottom ramp, he realizes right now that he has again slipped the net, and he knows that if he walks back around here, he has a real chance. So off the play that he's made here, all of his teammates are walking back towards bottom ramp because they know that because Lake has done another aggressive play, he's in position to win them the round. And so he's going to wait here. Triggered discipline. Spots no way jump spotting. Now, normally when somebody's jump spotting, it means that they're by themselves. But at this point in the round, it would be kind of weird if he's by himself, right? Because Lake just walked up ramp right away and there's only one here. Well, that was the play that Imperial went for this round. They played 1A and it worked out really well, but they left that big gap. That's why Lake even made that play in the first place. That's why he even got the timing, I should say, was because they only played 1A. So he's jump spotting, he waits, his teammates are all grouped up, and when they're all ready to go, he gets the kill, and now he goes aggressive again. Now, A site completely open. He mollies to rotate, so that way nobody can come in through elevator, and then of course, like I said, always, he's going to keep pushing. Very aggressive. He gets underneath heaven, and I don't know if they're ready for him here. Even though they did hear the potential of him running up, he's going to step out. He catches Phelps. He has a real chance here, but he needs to make the difference. They know he's here, so he's going to have to make a peek. Try already ran up the catwalk. It's not looking very good. Lake needs to make a difference right now, but unfortunately this time he cannot do it, and he will go down, and their round will go the way of Imperial. But again, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. You have Lake, who has the ability to turn around on its head. He could have outright won them that round. He maybe even should have. He maybe even should have won them that round. But that's the kind of play. Like, again, this is his rookie team. Like, this is first time playing tier 1 these last couple months, and he's walking through the side hall smoke against Imperial, and he's just taking the A site by himself. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. Who has the balls to make a play like that? Again, he's 19 years old, and he's just, I can't believe this. Anyway, so we have another round here. This is the final round of the half. They gave Lake the AK again. He's on a heater after all, 13-7 at this point. And eventually, after everything settles down, all of the utility is stoned for Imperial. They're going to do the old reliable strat on Vertigo, which is to just contact up ramp late. Since they made the changes to Vertigo, it became a lot stronger to just play retake ramp after a certain point because you have so much more cover. You have the new catwalk, the new pillars, and everything like that. So after a certain point, walking up ramp for free is pretty common. Try is going to stick around here, which I'm not the biggest fan of because his team left, and he will actually get punished for that. Lake jumps up and catches him. Now, remember, 4 versus 4, the ramp contact is going really well. And eventually, the round will go into a 3-on-3, make that a 3v2 as Swisher finds one more, and the round just goes the way of M80. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, most of the stuff that I wanted to highlight in this game was on T side, but he still did play very good on CT side in general. Now, Lake is our aggressive ramp rifler, which shouldn't come as a surprise given the way he aggresses on T side. We know this is probably going to be where he plays. And starting off this first gun round, we actually have a very similar strat to what we saw M80 run, which is throwing this lurk smoke and being grouped up ramp. Now, remember what happened the first time they tried to run this all the way back on round 5. No Way actually spammed them through the smoke here and got a 2K, and they won the round. And so Lake is going to be playing aggressive in the same way that he was earlier. But the only difference is that Sin is actually going to walk down as well with the MP9. This is a very common strat on Vertigo to get flash through the ramp smoke, but this on the first gun round is exceptionally strong. So Lake is going to throw a flash for Sin. Sin's going to unfortunately mistime the flash, but if he's blind, so is everybody else, and he's going to wait out the entirety of his blindness, and eventually when he can see, he gets one kill, which is a miracle to be completely honest with you. And off the back of that, the rest of the troops are going to, you know, just kind of spam the smoke, trying to get their damage done. Eventually Lake finds one through the smoke right here. I love the way he spams ramp, just little bursts, that's really, I like that, because, you know, he can two-tap people like he just did. And anyway, this is a gun round. Like I said, you know, it's about to look like he's playing versus pistols, but this is the first gun round of the half. The flash comes in, Lake peeks, catches Vinny on the right side. Decency tries to trade, but it doesn't come through, and Lake finds a nice 3K, securing the 11th round for the boys here. And yeah, that was a pretty straightforward round from M80, but I really like the way that they played that. Some aggression from Sin, Lake backing him up. Now, this round when I watched it had me excited because I, for the first time, saw something brand new in CS, and it's a setup that I really, really like. I'm going to nerd out about it for a second, so watch this. So after the initial ramp aggression comes in for Imperial, the boys end up falling back to play retake. Remember, like I said earlier, since the changes in Vertigo, the site has gotten a lot stronger to play defensively. But I didn't know about this setup. This one is brand new. What's happening is Slacks has the flash, and he's going to be holding a flash for the front of headshot. In the meantime, Lake is holding side haul. He can see if anybody walks up side haul from this angle. It's pretty strong. He can either see them from here, or if they walk into elevator. There's a little bit of a gap right here, but, you know, we don't have to worry about it because nobody can die to it because Sin is on the catwalk. And of course, Sin is going to be jiggling the front here and just patiently waiting for the hit. And whenever it comes in, Slacks is going to throw this flash right here, steal this lineup if you want to use this setup. I know a lot of teams watch me, open teams, IM teams, even main teams, advanced teams. Steal this setup. This is the lineup. And off the back of the contact, we're going to see a flash thrown from, or even no contact. We're going to see the flash thrown. Sin investigates, doesn't see anything. He's going to kind of push up here. But the boost from Imperial kind of gives away what they were doing. They can hear the rest of them running ramp. And we, again, you know, we have the setup. Sin's going to get flashed again. Peeks out, finds one. Lake comes to support, by the way. Remember, from this angle, he is a quick rotate to support Sin. And then Slacks actually comes in and takes the spot of Lake. Right? So all three of them are playing this spot, and they don't leave any gaps, because after Slacks throws that smoke and Lake goes to help, or sorry, the flash, and Lake goes to help, Slacks actually covers that gap, and now there's 3 people on the catwalk. Imagine peeking into 3 people looking at you. That would be a very bad day, and that's exactly what happened here. So, you know, Lake is going to be here helping out his teammate. Eventually he gets the kill, and he creeps up here. I think he finds the last one as well. Look at that. Beautiful setup from M80. I don't know if they stole this from somebody. I don't know if they made it themselves, but that's the first time that I've seen it, and I love every bit of that. One of the coolest Vertigo A site setups I've seen since the changes have been made, and just in general, that's a very cool setup for Vertigo. I absolutely love that one. Unfortunately, though, that is where the fun ends, because we have the final round here. Now, there wasn't a lot that we missed. Those 3 rounds that M80 lost. We have the first gun round where Lake was not involved. We have the force buy where Lake was not involved, and then we have the full eco where Lake did shoot his USP, but he didn't get anything done. And we have the final round here, which is round number 20. And of course, in true Vertigo fashion, it ends with a standard A contact into an A execute. Very, very boring, but M80 is going to close it out. Lake actually doesn't even do anything except for jiggle side haul here. But I guess that's going to wrap it up. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this review in the comments below. The quarterfinal match that M80 is going to be playing is in just a few days. So if you guys want to see me review that game, make sure you guys also keep me updated as the week goes on. I really enjoy watching Lake, and I think anybody who enjoys CS should be paying attention to Lake. He is a very exciting player to watch. I think he's bringing life to NACS, and yeah, M80 is also a really good team. I like the way that they play, and you know, honestly, we need teams like that in the pro scene. You know, teams that you can root for, underdog teams that just are fun to watch. Anyway, with that being said, I'm out of here, and I wanted to again thank you guys for hitting 40,000 subscribers on this channel. It means the world to me, and I really just wanted to thank you guys again. And also, if you guys didn't see, I did post the highly anticipated instant smoke video for every map. You can watch it right here. I'm pointing to it, as well as sub to all of my other channels that I run. I run 3 YouTube channels, so go check out those other channels as well as a Twitch stream sometime. But you don't need to do all that. I just appreciate you for being here. Make sure you guys leave a like, sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.